Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, ACGL presents the Blackheart AR, the voice, altruism. This is ASL, term number 2, week 1, day 2, and we're ready to jump into some of the hottest action you're going to see.
Yesterday we got to see the kickoff of this week's tournaments, right? We always know when it comes to ASL that we're in for high intensity gameplay, these nail-biting finishes, the highest level of skill that the youngsters of South Africa can bring out, and it really has not disappointed. It seems every term by term we get to see something new. We got to see final fights between teammates from the same school, basically, because again, remember everyone, this is all building up to the ACGL LAN at the end of, I think it's end of July there down in Cape Town, where these guys, these youngsters get to go and play maybe perhaps their first ever LAN, and they even get to go rub shoulders with the top players, the top pros from the multiple titles available. The guys have really been putting in the effort in preparation for that.
Oh man, last year was an absolute blast at that LAN. We got to see it firsthand, and if you missed it, don't fret. It's happening this year all over again. Yesterday, we had the Open Division as well as the Premier Division. Today, we'll just be going with the Open Division for now. But let's walk you through this. Term number 1, 180 schools signing up for ASL, spread across multiple titles. Fortnite, Valorant, Rocket League. It is absolutely incredible to witness. And we've got Fortnite action for you today.
Fortnite action. AR alluded to it. Now in term number 2, term 1, everyone was on level playing field. Term number 2, we have separated it. Premier Division we got to see yesterday. And today we carry on with the Open Division. That's 3 lobbies a week. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, with the Premier Division doubling up for a second set of lobbies. But today, 2 lobbies available for you here and now, as each of these over the next 8 weeks going to be fighting it out to qualify for that LAN. And AR, walk us through the very brief, as we head towards the island, the very brief things that we're going to be looking out for from these youngsters.
Oh, well, I discussed this a little bit more in depth yesterday during that Premier Division, because we got to see it a lot more when the higher levels got into the game. A lot of these players, they want to land at the black market. In term 1, we saw the black markets. We saw them breaking into the vaults, getting these dull bits that allowed them to get mythics from black markets. Guess what? There's now a hidden room with exotics in there as well, and a chest where if you have a high enough level keycard, you can just get a dull bit without having to go to a vault. It gives you a mythic early on. It gives you the exotic early on. That's what these guys should be going for. And we even see it right here on Zen. We saw a lot of Zen yesterday. These guys managed to go ahead and have 2-3 mythics in their inventories. Chug jugs, you name it. And that seems to be the plan for Zen again over here tonight.
Well, you talk about plan, because that's a big part of what these youngsters have been able to refine. They've started getting coaches in there, and they have a very clear understanding. Oh, really? We're going to start it off with a kneecap duel?
A pickaxe duel on top of that.
Oh,
they just
not
have
even
a baseball bat, pickaxe equipped, just swinging at each other. You love to see it.
Oh, man. We've gotten to see that kneecap baseball bat a couple of times, and now we get to see it already. These guys coming in and unlocking the best loot that they can straight off the bat. Haha, see what I did there? I mean, it's great, and that's kind of what I was alluding to. There are designated drop spots that people take. Oh, Diogo, unlucky fall down the side of the cliff there and being peppered down from on high. The pressure is on. This is another thing we got to see. It's not just the plan that you make before the game when you start. You know where you want to drop. You know what the loot routes that you want to aim at is, but there's always that element that someone else could be contesting you hard.
Oh, absolutely. And going down this early, it's not what you want, because it is going to be placements and kills that give you your points for the leaderboards. And we will have updated leaderboards after this game and then for the second game as well. So don't you worry about that. We've lost 2 teams so far, one of which being that pickaxe fight early on. But now Antonio, last left alive on the team. We talk about numbers advantage all the time, and it goes both ways. We saw a duo win the first game yesterday. The first game of term number 2. Can Antonio survive over here? Not against that big shotgun shot. And that's why shotguns are still the meta in Fortnite.
Yeah, shotguns is your execution kill. We've seen it. It's almost always paired up with some sort of longer range weapon. It's been snipers for a couple of seasons. Here we've even gotten to see the pistols used at 50, 60, 70 meters range just to open that up, get that little bit of an advantage into the fight. But that shotgun, that is what closes the deal. Oh, look how many llamas are on the center of the field there. Whoever's there by Foxy Floodgates is going to be in for a treat. They've got their pick of the alpacas.
Oh, and not just regular llamas either. That's golden llamas, baby. That's going to give you 1,000 gold for opening it, plus all the ammo to fill up your inventories. That allows these guys not just to go ahead and fill up the gold, which is always nice, but to head over to a black market and get your favorite thing, the boons.
The boons, man. I love to see the boons. It's not something that makes the big splashy impact, but those boosts that you can get, whether it's a gold rush boost that it gives you that gold rush, that extra speed that you can use to get around when opening or destroying chests. But my favorite one has to be that vulture boon. It's not something you guys are going to get to see, but when you get that, it reveals where enemies are eliminated anywhere on the map, so you can go third party on it. Mr. Above Average, this has got to be a spectator glitch, otherwise that is an OP way. But I mean, he's using it with the confidence that no one sees him and starts off with cracking his opponents. We've seen this team time and time again. These are the guys who actually won at the LAN last year. Minty, Spectre, Mr. Above Average. If ever there was a team you were worried about closing the distance on you, it's them.
I mean, John Cena made headlines this past weekend. Mr. Above Average taking that invisibility to do the same over here for the open division. Solo now also beaming from up top. Unfortunately, it is an SMG, so it's going to have a high damage drop-off. And Minty right now rocking the recently added Click skin, hoping to play as good as Clicks himself and get away with a W. Spots an enemy out in the distance. The immediate beam goes ahead and takes out Zen, and that is going to be some easy KP. Aiden gets taken down as well. Insta confirmed. Switches out for that baseball bat almost instantly. And let's just talk about Mr. Above Average's inventory here for a second. The Gold Sentinel and that Chug Jug for healing post-fights.
Huge, and this is another part. You can see Prime Conrad spotted out in the bush, a single bullet executed in the shrubbery, and this is something that I want everyone to pay attention to. What this team does, time and time again, they are efficient and they are ruthless. They track themselves around the entire island. They get a bunch of kills, that's fine. Well, everyone now wants to settle down and, think about what they want to do. These guys are always on to the next target, and so we'll pop in later, I'm sure, to see what other retribution or consternation they can cause here on the island. But what a team to watch, and an absolute pleasure here from Danka.
Rising to the occasion over here is this dude who's literally going ahead and just floating. Who knows? Vecna might actually be taking control for a second over there. But, the meadows, the beautiful meadows right now, just home to a bunch of eliminations. That is going to be this dude going down. That is, I believe, a little bit of a spectator bug or maybe even some lag on the play over there. Either way, that's 3 KP for Lucid and the rest of the squad.
And you keep mentioning this, KP, how important that is, AR, for us, because both placements and eliminations, that's how you're going to get your points. And the points, of course, cumulative across all the weeks. We are going to be able to show you a nice leaderboard after every one of the games, so don't worry about that yourself. But I think the teams are going to be ecstatic that they're picking this up, and we're getting to see a level of aggression previously unmatched, really, where we get to see 5 teams eliminated this early. So often we get to see 10 teams make it towards the final couple of circles.
Yeah, absolutely. And Koi now spots out one behind the rock. There's a second as well as the walls go up instantly. Koi now building up ramps. Has that burst SMG as well, but has that burst AUG in hand. And that gun is so powerful, especially with hit scan being back in the game. We've got a couple of options for hit scans right now as Hype gets taken down with just a couple of taps from that AUG. We have that AUG, that's an option for hit scan. We have the Hollow Twisters in all of its variants. That's including the Mythic and the Exotic version. But then we also have the recently added Twin Mag Assault Rifle. One of the most overpowered, and we see it in action over here from Lucid, one of the most overpowered hit scan guns that they've added Because yes, it only has, what, 25 bullets per clip, but it's a flip mag, which means your first reload is that much quicker, and the damage is still on par with guns like the Red Eye, and you can see it right there. 45 headshot immediately gets the knock on prime.
Such a nice scope, allowing you for the good aiming and tracking. It's got that lovely little burst fire to it to be able to put in damage so quickly on your opponents or threaten builds. And I mean, two of the strongest guns in the game you mentioned right now, and they're both in the hands of Lucid Wraith and teammates. They're using it to full advantage, even playing with their food now, knocks them up and dances around. That's a little bit cheeky, Lucid Wraith. This is school's level, and these guys are feeling confidence.
Oh, and then the clown spray as well, and finally, the Thirst Mercy finally being shown from Lucid and the squad, and they are going to go ahead and get that KP for themselves. Flooded Frogs still has a team up top as well. It's been quite of a hot spot, a loved location these days for all of these players, as the zone is going to shift and shake these guys around. Not too bad, just shrinking inwards slightly, keeping most of the POIs in. But right now, what we're seeing is a lot of aggression out of here. Yesterday, we discussed in the open how aggression can be very beneficial, but it can also cause you to make a lot of mistakes. Do you think some of these guys should just maybe slow it down and play for their placements? I mean, getting your KP is all good and all, but going ahead and getting that placement secures you a huge amount of points.
Yeah, a little bit of aggression when you get the opportunity is great early, as we see Prime here taking a couple of shots against him. Gonna have to dash away right now, down to 12 HP off the side of the cliff, using that slide. I don't know. There's certainly the aggression coming out on the other side. And this is the big thing about the aggression. If you can open the fight and get such a nice advantage, then great. By all means, send it. But do it with that reservation of always knowing where your teammates are. You know, you don't want to solo push into 3 people, because if you go down, here's the downside of showing that aggression too early. If you put your teammates in a bad position and you now set them to a 2v1 or a 2v3 or a 1v3 later on in the game, it becomes so difficult. We always talk about that numbers advantage. So for the teams who can pick up 5 kills like these guys right now, it's great for them. It allows you to stack your inventory a little bit better, just culminate everyone's bit of loot together, but do it at your own peril.
And hey, I'm seeing the chat right now. I'm seeing y'all say, I love the aggressive plays. Look at this. Lucid and the squad are chasing down the team that they just wiped out. They got rebooted, born again over there. Sorry, Alt, I know we said not today, but I had to. But now, once again, chasing down Hype, chasing down Baboon. And you can see them right there. Close proximity from this third-person peak of Hype. Very, very close. Not a fight that you want to take. Yes, you got those purple assault rifles. You have that blue SMG. You have the shield, but you haven't popped it. And, I mean, you switching your guns over there. It did show you for a little bit. And now you're out in the open and the wolves are surrounding you. And shotguns are going to go ahead, and a little bit more BMs on the squad with the close range spray down. The sprays going on. The emoticons as they wipe you out. And once again, Baboon, the last one left alive. And I mean, with this inventory, yes, you can get away for just a little bit. But when there's that team up north from you as well, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, out of the frying pan into the fire at some stage, because this is the other thing. You can go for that aggression very early, because if you do lose a teammate, there's always the opportunity to reboot. But as we get closer and closer to those final zones, the reboot vans start getting out of the zone. People are going to be watching for anyone trying to rejoin the fight, and they're going to take advantage, maybe putting your entire team in peril. So certainly there is still the opportunity for Baboon to get his teammates back in here, but it's going to be a hard road. And the other thing about that AR that we talk about so often is if you're spending all your time trying to get your teammates back in, you're starting at scratch again. You have to try to pull out that inventory, and you're now not spending that time getting the meds that you need, getting the materials that you need. We've so often seen these final couple of zones determined by who just runs out of mats, and they can't keep that high ground advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the only thing you're coming back with is that gray pistol with, what, 32 bullets in it? That's all you're getting from a reboot. And we spectate Mr. Above Average and the squad, who, honestly, after the initial little aggression over there, have seemed to calm down. I mean, the other team that we just saw wipe out the rebooted squads, they have more kills in total right now than Mr. Above Average, but it's still fairly early game. Yes, we have a small lobby over here. It is the first game. Usually the first games that we do is a smaller lobby. 20 players left within this still, as we are on, I believe, zone number 3, if I'm not mistaken, zone number 4. And unfortunately, Baboon looking for the reboot, but there's a team waiting on that hill, close left of flooded frogs. Just waiting, but I also don't think that Baboon managed to get any reboot cards, so is on their own right now.
Yeah, Baboon just had to take for the hills, and the team that is chasing him is the same ones that have been going after him the entire game. So really just desperation at this stage. Might want to just play a little bit more sneaky, that passive play that allows you to secure a couple more placement positions, because there are only 8 teams left in the lobby. That's going to get narrowed down quite quickly, and that's all that's on the cards, literally, there for Baboon as he takes that gold rush and just takes towards the hills.
Ooh, but notice what he's doing. He's going back down for the cards, though.
Ooh.
That launch pad is directed back to where the cards were. And with 300 seconds on each card, might make it back. I mean, it's a long journey down to that gas station, but it's very, very doable. So may just get teammates back in. But, speaking of teammates, what's a better teammate than an armored tank for you to drive around, Dolph?
Yeah, the reboot vans are not the only vehicles that people are going to be keeping an eye on right now. This mobile fortress that allows your teammates to jump in there. We've gotten to see it a couple of times. This is how you hunt now. You've gotten everything that you could want. Maybe Matthew's inventory could be a little bit more potent with the guns there. But I mean, right now, they really can escape from where that island was starting to look a little tenuous. Start hunting for a little bit more. Ghost Slayer also not too healthy in terms of the backpack, but they're at least going to give themselves some space, as we see Minty above average and Solo Spectre are kind of harassing this team that's being pinned against the edge. And Lucid Wraith and the rest of the squad, if there was a team that was going to challenge them, it's a squad with 6 kills already to their benefit. That's going to give them a run for their money.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing that I sort of like about this. We have Koi and the rest of the squad all grouped up. But on the opposite side of Minty and that squad, we have Solo that's all the way south at Brutal Boxcars, ready to get any flank shots whatsoever, put pressure on that team, and then hope for a third party or hope for your teams to go ahead and get the kills or get damage through. Ooh. There's another team approaching right now from the black market, so that could be a plan set in motion right there, like a whisper in the wind. Jaguars getting shot at from the other team, being Minty, as they focus on this new team in Magic Masters. And I mean, Lucid is building up, looking for any pot shots with that Sentinel pump as well. And height advantage now going to this other team that has just joined in this fray, but Jaguars looking to challenge that very, very quickly. I mean, look at all of the builds on the other side of that roof vault, as right now in the open, 34, Mr. Cooks gets taken down, looking for a second. The second one goes down over there to Lucid, and now shotgun in the back. Jaguars is cracked, and this would be a prime moment right now for Solo to push all the way up, join the team, and third party this fight, getting 3 eliminations and taking out the team with the highest kills right now as well.
I mean, everyone who's ever played a Battle Royale understands those third parties is where it's at. You get your opponents distracted, they've drained a couple of their resources, got to reload their guns, taken a couple of shots already, and you come in and clean up everything, stack it up, and that's where Lucid Wraith has come off to the detriment. Goes down, Jaguars falls just afterwards. It's all up to Koi now, and it's got a team right here. The original team that started this fight seems to have hidden back, retreated into the trees, and Koi now has to take towards this guy, building furiously, but there's just as many builds coming up around them. Just try and shut that down. Drops down a little bit, dodges the shotgun shot, Matrix style there, and trying to get some sort of advantage. It's so hard. Edits through, takes the damage, and it's 7 kills. Their benefit is a great bit of points for them, but they're going to have to just settle for that 8th position.
Notice what Minty and the squad did over there. They got the 2, they saw the 1 building up. They didn't waste mats building up as well. They didn't waste time trying to find an angle for the ramp. No. They just pulled their pickaxe and said, yo, the walls come tumbling down in the city that we love. And the city that we love right now is outside of Mosses right now. Place gets taken out as well. There still is that team in Magic Masters as well. We will come back to that action as Zany and the rest of the squad are going to heal with the Slurp sprites that have been unvaulted. They have been brought back after a bug with them, and you love to see their cuteness just heal everyone and warm their hearts.
Man, it warms my little hearts there, just seeing these little guys bouncing around like that. Absolutely love it. And one of the most efficient ways to get your entire team topped off is what you're going to need to. Now that the team goes down, Baboon's still staying alive there. Do not know that this has got to be that he's got the reboot cards, right? He's so deep into the storm. Does need to be careful. Got at least a mid pack to top that back up there. And there's no way you're going to be challenging a vault now. No way, friend.
Oh, that is an interesting play. You're deep in the zone. It's about to start ticking for 2. You activated the vault, which, I mean, is a good strat because you have the storm on your side to deal damage. But, yeah, I think you're not going to be staying here for too long. You'll have to move very, very shortly. Has that reboot card up. And that is a thing as well now that's going to help out Baboons. Getting the teammates back very, very quickly. And, I mean, with how many teams do we have left in this? 6 teams, 13 players left alive. Zone number 6. It's a tough one because now you're bringing in your teammates with nothing. We talked about it. Just a great pistol, no mats, and you're bringing them back quite deep in storm. And there's only 10 seconds on that clock.
Yeah, I mean, at what stage are you so deep that even when they come back, they're going to be hard pressed to actually get back towards the storm? In the storm, though, in the nice safety, or relative safety, certainly, Ames Vex putting on a show now, chasing down again and tracking their opponents, but has found the rest of the team and needs to be careful not to overextend. It is just the duo left as Mr. Cooks has been taken down, but shoots through the bushes, has managed to tag up once and constantly tracking around, knowing that their opponents are on so low HP. This difficult reboots if you're going to go for it right now with the sprays coming through, and Skibidi Toilet is just next door right now. Skibidi Toilet is certainly going to be the spectator right now. A terrible name, gotta say this. So what does this new generation come to?
But, terrible name, but flushing the competition right now. I'm just going to say it.
That was awful, AR. I love it
know,
so much.
Love it.
But yeah, I mean, AR, look at this. We don't even have time to talk about the names as we're down to the final 4 teams already, and 3 of them engaged right now. I think as Baboons is the only one out of there. So maybe actually with the smartest plays, as we carry on now in this 3-way engagement, this is going to go down, and I think we're going to end up with quite a quiet and structured end zone.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But that zone moving back to Mosses as well. And I don't know what team is down there right now, but they have prime position as well. And is it actually... Okay, it is DJ Fishy and Remzozo that is in zone right now. Solo Spectre and the rest of the squad moving in. I'm not too sure. I think maybe Baboon got killed by the zone over there. So we are down to our 4 as Zany and the squad now dealing with close battles. Baseball bat, time to go in. Push Ames back into the storm. Get that elimination. Get that KP as well. You've got that splash to give you some speed. Shana does go down, unfortunately. Zany healing with that minis. But right now you are and have locked in that you are a duo in this final zones. Mr. Above Average, healthier than ever. Still 80 uses on that Jug. Best looting game. They've lost Minty though, it seems to look like. But I don't even think that matters right now because they're just beaming. They've set up beautifully and now they're just gatekeeping anyone. Actually, Minty is alive. Just a visual over there for a second. And I mean, they've got 8 kills to their names. They're looking for more in this final zones as they get a 9th one right there. 4 teams, still 7 players, and you know things are just heating up as we get into this end game. Everyone's going to be trying to battle for position and for those final few kills.
I mean, we talked about that team, and we mentioned that they didn't have as many kills as we expected after the explosive starts, but they're now pulling it out. That's their 10th kill of the match right now. Again, the trio on one side, a duo on another team, and the last solo here left alive. The duo is sitting as deep down south as possible in the final zone. Skibidi Toilet and making desperate tracks away. Does at least start getting a little bit of a fortification up. They're going to try and optimistically show some damage, but draws attention towards themselves. The duo has suddenly been alerted to their presence, and Now it's just a hunt for who can get that last kill. Skibbity Toilet does go down. Solo Spectre going to pick that up, saying, no, that was our kill from the beginning. And so trio versus duo. DJ Fishy Blades, Rimzozo going to be taking on this Danka squad. And they tried to go for high ground already. They're going to fight it out. Tries to get the angle through. They can't get anything. Rimzozo going to be losing all that's left of the shields and drops down there trying to heal up, but has left his teammate alone. Rimzozo cleaned up by Mr. Above Average. And this team looking to put on as many points as they can. I mean, that's already 12. They pick up the final one. Full trio left alive, and Danka continues their onslaught.
I mean, are we really surprised when we saw Danka take out the other challenges that were popping off over there? We knew that they were going to do something great towards the end. Mr. Above Average with 7 eliminations alone in our first of 2 games for the Open. But what an incredible first match. You love to see it. Danka proving why they belong in that top status for ASL Fortnite, for schools, leagues of games, and you love to see it right here. And they're pushing forth to that LAN as well. They want to be at that LAN. They want to have those moments again. And they're making vital moments right here, right now in ASL. We will get that leaderboard scored up as well. It's a lot of math, guys. Math is hard sometimes. Okay, listen. We can all admit it. We're human here. This is a safe space. Math is hard sometimes, Alt. Don't give me that look.
Sometimes, absolutely. But thankfully, we have computers to do that. But talking about like computers and that clinical mindset, so often we get to see a bit of a frenetic last zone there as we have multiple teams. But when you've got someone like Danka looking to make a repeat, can you imagine that 2 out of 2 lands you managed to take for yourselves? That's the sort of dream that these youngsters would love to put on. And they're doing a great job of it. You're coming out with, I think I was 13, 14 kills by the end of that, half of them to Mr. Above Average alone. That is a way to put a statement on a lobby, and certainly it might make your opponents start to rethink some of those plans. I mean, we already saw the drops were hotly contested for a lot of the teams, so there is always time to adapt, and that's what these youngsters are so good at. Whether it's 2 days after a brand new season, they know all the tricks and intricacies. These guys, they've got more up their sleeve. It's just whether it's enough to take on such a powerhouse.
Seems to be the plan. Yeah, and we do have that leaderboard right up here now, and 91 points in first is insane, and that is going to be the anchor right there. 13 kills and a win as well to put them in first place. Delta Park going to be in second as well. That's going to be DJ Fishy, who managed to go ahead and stay in zone for the most part towards the end over there. And then D49 is Zany and the squad, who they did last out quite a bit over there. I think they had a couple of kills, if I'm not mistaken. They had 5 kills as well, and a top spot as well. Fourth place is going to be Skibbity Toilet, Mr. Cooks, and Ames. They also did get a couple of kills and managed to get into that end zone as well. So pretty well done for these teams over here, despite having a smaller lobby. I mean, 13 for our first place of the Anchor is wild.
It's amazing. I mean, they would nearly double the next everyone else in the lobby, which is huge from them. And again, that's why you have to show that consistent aggression. You have to constantly be adding through it. You can't always rely on getting 5 or 6 kills in the last couple of zones. If you can stack that up. What's amazing to me, AR, is that we consistently are now getting to see the schools coming through there. We've seen people like PRG yesterday in the Premier Division doing so well. They're great. Swartcorp has constantly been doing well. And Danka, their first and third position. And this is where it becomes important, guys, because only one team per school can go through to that LAN. You're fighting not just against your opponents, but against your brethren from your own school. So Danka with that Mr. Above Average team, they are proving to be difficult for even the best of the rest of the school to try and keep up with.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We are going to take a short intermission, ladies and gentlemen, as we get that second lobby set up for all of you. So grab some popcorn, because we're going to run this back right now. We're going to see if the top squad right now, if first place, can be dethroned in this second match, or will the Anchor go ahead and further their lead? We'll find out after the short break. And that seems to be the plan for Zen again over here tonight.
Well, you talk about plan, because that's a big part of what these youngsters have been able. ASL, it always promises and it always delivers. Match number 1, off to a great start for Danka. Everyone else having their moments of brilliance and a couple of early casualties. In fact, some of the earliest casualties that we've seen in this league. At the end of the day, it is nothing but exciting Fortnite here. I mean, there's a lot else here on ASL. We do broadcast a bunch of other games, and if you guys are just joining in, you've never seen it before, this is where the megastars in the making come to play. The best of the schools leagues trying to fight it out, all with their eyes set on that Cape Town land at the end of July.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we just got to see the Anchor, Mr. Above Average, Minty, and Exit just pushing up top. They want to be at that top over there. They want to be saying, we the ones. And they're proving it right there. 13 kills and a victory royale in our first game for this beautiful Thursday. You love to see it. But we do have a second game coming up for you in just a bit. Let's talk about this for a second, though, Alt. It's a smaller lobby, which means these guys are going to get their KP. We talked about the aggression in that first half as well. And we talked about how you don't want to get overly aggressive. You want to take your shot when your shot has that opportunity. It's a smaller lobby now. What do you think these guys should go for? Should they be pushing those mythics? Should they be pushing those vaults more often? The black markets? What do you think they should be doing? What do you think they shouldn't be doing as well?
You know, everyone has their own little flavor, their own little play style. We did see some people trying for the vaults here or there, especially yesterday. And if you've got that, all of those nuances to the vault, such as hitting the bright orange spots to just make it go a little bit faster, by all means, you go for that because you are guaranteed to then get a decent loadout. But at the end of the day, it's not all about the guns. It's not all about the backpack slots. It's about how you play it. So don't push into something like that when there's a team nearby. Everyone's going to have their eyes set on that. And we've seen it time and time. Back when the bunkers used to still be in, the number of teams that got trapped in what looked to be a lucrative opportunity, and they got hammered down there. All you've done is just collect everything nicely for your opponents, and that's it. So be careful. If you've got your roots, if you've practiced it, great. But if you're being contested in game number 1, either you need to be ready to go from the moment you hit the ground, or you need to be finding another option.
Oh, dude, you just gave me so much nostalgia with the bunkers, man. I'm thinking about that season, the wings, the grappling hook that we had. Oh, man, I missed that. It was fantastic. But we are in chapter 6 over here right now. We are a couple weeks away, legitimately 2 weeks away from a massive update pushing us into a new season, a Star Wars themed season.
Ooh.
Does that mean we're going to be seeing lightsabers? Does that mean we're going to be seeing the Force? Is Chewbacca going to be roaming on the island? Only time will tell. But for now, it is time to hop out of that battle bus one more time for today. And very similar strategy over here. Go up north to Magic Mosses. Go down to Crime City. The same POIs that these players love. They are going to be going for it. 38 players as the battle bus says goodbye.
Hey, I'm so glad you actually did bring up the new season that's coming in there, because it always adds something different. And when you look at this season, we have the Mortal Kombat stuff. We got to see a Sub-Zero kill yesterday in the open division there. We've still got the Scorpion stuff that's come in here, yanking your opponents towards each other. And one of the big things that I've noticed about this season in particular is the lack of mobility. Aside from the baseball bat, which allows you to run a little bit faster, and a couple of the boons here or there, there's not actually a lot to close the distance. I mean, we've seen Icarus wings and air bending and all sorts of stuff in the past that has kind of changed the meta. Now it's coming back to like almost OG Fortnite stars, where it's about the gunplay, and the guys are relying on that ability to, again, open up the account with a decent sniper shot. I mean, even snipers have kind of dropped off because you don't want to be at that much of a distance, because then closing the distance afterwards is very difficult. So the guys going for those assault rifles, for pistols, even an SMG here or there. I mean, that drum barrel assault rifle that you were talking about yesterday is also so good. So the guys have really had to adapt towards it, but having a decent distance weapon and a shotgun, still the name of the game.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing that like carry through. And one of the most important things is what we see in front of Solo right now, the baseball bat. The mobility that, like you said, is lacking this season. Of course, in a competitive like this, we don't get to see that shockwave, so we don't get to see that drill. So seeing the baseball bat in here, an item that is meant to be used on the offense, meant for you to go ahead and big swing someone off a mountain, which yes, we have seen in term 1. If you missed that out, I actually feel sorry for you because those were some flips. But it gives you that tiny speed boost. You combine that with a gold splash, you're moving across this map. Not only that, you can whack your teammates off a mountain and they don't take fall damage. So there is strategies around it. There is some sort of mobility, and Fortnite have done a good job on that, especially knowing that in situations like this, in a competitive thing like this, they usually remove shockwaves, the grappling hook, or whatever else may be. But Matthew right now and the squad looking to take on the train and give it some pain as they take out these turrets, hoping to get some thermite and then break into it, get the dilbits within it, get the mythic sentinel pump, and get all that gold as well. And we can see the thermite being placed already.
And I'm actually so glad that this happened right now. It's one of the ones we didn't manage to talk about earlier. We talked about the vaults, etc. But again, a guaranteed loot spot if you are lucky with where the train spawns. The fact that it's right on top of them right now is fantastic, and they seem completely uncontested. So they're going to have a wild ride now. They're going to be interested to see what they can get out on the other side. Not too much damage when they were trying to assault us in the first place. And this movement, still got to deal with the spawning bots, right? Or have they already cleared that bot out?
No. It's going to spawn after it opens. But what I'm actually wondering is if the wolf is going to be here as well. Fletcher Kane, who might drop that medallion that gives you that speed boost that we talk about. And one of your favorite mechanics, bashing into people and sending them flying with some damage. And it looks like Fletcher Kane is here. You can see the medallion icon on the map.
Oh, Fletcher Kane, one of the best. One of the only NPCs really of note in this season. And like you say, you do get that wonderful medallion, but there's also so much more there. His double pistol is great. It's not two pistols. I think it's called the double shot pistol. Double down pistol. My apologies. The unstoppable medallion that you mentioned. They're going to be hunting, and it's the big bad wolf who's being knocked around, unfortunately, for him.
Absolutely, and literally just about to huff and puff and blow these players away, but I mean, they've done enough damage. 75 over there with the baseball bat, and they're just meleeing him down. And I mean, there's the alum, there's the medallion right there. And interesting to note, yes, the mammoth pistol not in competitive as well. Same with those snipers and the shockwaves and everything like that as well. Which, I mean, you'd expect it. I mean, one-shot sniper or one-shot mammoth pistol, it's kind of unfair here and there as well. And you know, we get to the end of the season, these players are going to be enjoying these guns for as long as they have left. I'm interested to see what the new season thinks, because the one thing that we love to see in a whole new Deflesh of a season is how these players adapt within what, 8 hours, 12 hours.
I swear they live on TikTok at that stage to get all the inside scoops, but they do a great job of then refining their play styles around it. You mentioned the fact that like those cards that you can use on the big chest, that is something that you have to go and prep before the game even starts. So I love that. We look to this one though, and a completely different story from game number 1. So much more passive, just a single elimination right now, a couple of knocks here or there otherwise, and teams finally starting to engage with each other. Here comes the close in. One player already knocked. It's Ames, Vex, Skibbity Toilet, and Mr. Cooks. They lasted so long into it. There's a gap underneath the bulls, and they're taking full advantage. Beams through 2, takes out the second player coming up over the top, and basically Willie Crane gives up, runs straight into the opponents, and that's our first eliminated squad.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's what you call game sense right there. Saw the gap underneath, didn't bother shooting at the wall itself, just started shooting at the little tootsies that were visible through that gap. Gets enough damage, gets a knock, and then gets all 3 eliminations as well. And that's the first team down, Alt. And you hate to be the first one out, but at the end of the day, someone has to be the first team out.
Yeah, I can understand why there was a little bit more trepidation and maybe respect of the opponents in this lobby after game number 1, realizing you can't just charge full steam ahead, because really when you come 15, your placement points just evaporate. You don't have any kills to your name, basically. Like the little jump pad that they're going to be able to use to rotate right now, Roche, a little bit separated off from the team, and there is another squad in the vast distance outside of Crime City that they're going to need to be careful of, but Great way to get to the high grounds. This is an interesting inventory. There we go. Now we're starting to look a bit better.
I was about to say the same thing as well. I mean, do you want to carry a weapon or do you want to be the weapon? 5 guns in an inventory? That's absolutely wild. I mean, still you have 4 guns right now, a shotgun, and 3 SMGs. I don't think I've ever seen a loadout like this in ASL history, but they are moving towards the black market, hopefully to get some more heals, maybe a med kit or something, some extra big pots, and you know, they can go ahead and open that vault as well. The mythic is gone already from the main section, but over here we see a beautiful lineup of exotics. We've got the twin fire shotguns over there, which reload as you sprint. It's kind of nice, you know. We don't see that shotgun often because, I mean, the reload time is what, almost 6 seconds or something. But to be able to sprint around and it reloads on its own, you love to see that.
Yeah, especially in those end zones when it does become frenetic. If you get caught out for 6 seconds, you're basically done into this. Great way for Minty to come back on the board. Starts it out here for Mr. Above Average and the rest of the Youngster squad. You know, the other thing, AR, that I love about teams who are prioritizing these black markets is, you alluded to it a little bit, you might have all the guns you want. You might have the mythics. It's not all about the weapons. It's the fact that you can stack out your inventory with all the other resources and sustain items that you need. These guys, though, they don't need anything more than what's already in their back pocket as Minty takes some shots out there. Of course, an SMG is not going to do too much from range like this, and I mean, half of them are still sitting on their green variety, so they're not going to be able to claim any kills right now, but the intentionality is still there.
My brother in Spice, Minty has the freaking exotic hollow twister. The one that fires faster the longer you shoot it. In a dangerous squad like that, that turns them into a final boss. I'm just saying that right now. Hype, 13 HP, trying to run away from that hillside, and I mean, you're running in a straight line. Hopefully your opponents don't have a line of sight on you as you now go ahead and try to pop those minis, get your shields back up. Has both teammates still alive, does not want to be the first one of the team taken down, so manages to go ahead and get away in time. Right now, stopping on a raise right now, maybe some lag over on Yummy. I'm going to drop everything for their teammate. You know, that's a good strat right there. Drop all of your items beforehand and then your partner can go ahead and rotate. But if it is lag, I really feel sorry for them. On the bridge, though, Jaguars and rest of squad having a little bit of a bridge fight, breaking through the balls. 44, 20, 20 with the shotgun, with the assault rifle, I should say, and now drops down into the water like sharks, smelling blood, breaking these bulls, trying to get around every ramp that's placed. But, I mean, you're up close and personal with a shotgun. Taking down 12 shield, though you have your teammates to back you up, but now you're taking down to 6. And now you want to back up? No! You're taking it from a different angle. And even though the squishy may have gone down, you're going to be able to use that person's little sprite lucid as you get that beautiful headshot pump.
I mean, I said it was one of the most efficient ways to get your shields back. I mean, if you can use your opponent's one, that's even better. But what a fight we saw going out there. Those were 2 teams that we saw a lot of potential from earlier. The other one was Ames' squad there with Skibbity Toilet. So they do get taken down. In the kill feed, though, I'm watching Donka lights it up. Solo Spectre and Mr. Above Average. They've managed to clean up their opponents. And, I mean, look at this. Up to 5 kills. That's basically 2 squads because this western side was so full of teams, and that's going to be everything that they need. Great play from them to carry on with that onslaught. 5 kills to the squad to add to their already impressive point tally, and they could really start going in any direction and hitting opponents.
Yeah, and if that exotic in Minty's inventory wasn't enough, let's go ahead and give Mr. Above Average a gold one as well, just to output some, even more damage. I mean, that's feeding a final boss. It's turning them into a D&D boss right now, and that's going to be a challenge for the rest of the players on the map. Zany just gliding down right now, spots out a couple of players in the distance, drops lower than and quicker than they would go ahead and expect to. Shanahan right now pushing up across this bridge as well. Has that laser in hand, which is something you and I have seen being used more and more as the days go along. It's easy to like beam through bushes. It's easy to farm materials, but you're taking up a utility slot that you could use it for something else. I mean, Ruben right now up close and personal. Those players don't know. He doesn't know that there's one more in the bush and is going to be forced forward just a little bit by that zone. And I mean, now you're sort of in that rock and a hard place. You got to deal with bullets or you got to deal with that storm.
Oh, and there's even the aggression coming around the other way. Flay's going to be charging in there with the baseball bat. Not needed, though. Groot goes down. Might be Groot at that stage, probably with the Afrikaans.
I am Groot. No, I like it.
Ruben gonna go down and gets cut down as Groot would be in this storm. And Flay's gonna be super happy to pick up the rest of the inventory. Now starting to look very stacked. Picks up a second baseball bat. Just trades it out. There was blood on the other one, unfortunately.
Did you notice what Matthew did over there, or attempted to do over there for a second before getting that knock? Tried to go ahead and destroy the launch pad that was just placed. That's game sense right there. Unfortunately, only managed to break one wall of it, but still got the knock, which led the charge, led the push for the rest of the team. And they still keep pushing as Place Palace right now gets that shotgun shot off, cracks the opponent, and now tries to beam from the heavens, pushing up close. 23 headshot. There's going to be the knock from Matthew, and they keep on pushing forward. Baseball bats in hand. The speed boost up top. Another crack. A fadeaway shot from Matthew with that shotgun, and now brings the walls tumbling down, breaking the walls down like the walls of Jericho, and then gets another elimination.
Man, it's beautiful. There's no better word to describe how some of these youngsters play there. You talk about the game sense of targeting out. There's only escape room, the launch pads of your opponents. There's the fadeaway shot. You fly across there, get that, and pull the trigger at the exact right time. There's taking down the walls. These guys know every trick in the book, and they're ready to just swap between them effortlessly. Ironically, that I couldn't get that one out. But what a great team to watch in terms of just pretty play.
Dude, it plays so good that it made it a tongue twister for alt. That's how good the plays are over here at ASL, and you want to be hitting that follow button for 7 more weeks of ASL, where action is harder than ever. We tune in back with Solo Spectre and the rest of the squad as they are just on the outskirts of Seaport City, looking to get some more eliminations. Sitting at 8 right now, that is good KP, especially with their previous game, but they want some more. Headshot after headshot. That is not average aim.
I mean, there was 2 people down there, by the way. That it just blended together into a single elimination. And again, they come over Rise, they see their opponents, and they deal with them summarily. I want to, as we go back into the map, though, the thing that is front and center in the most literal way to me is these islands. We talk about it so often, the high ground advantage, the loot that's waiting up there for you, the ability to then rotate from there to wherever the zone starts shrinking. If you can take that early, Jaguar, of course it's this team. They've been playing a great game so far. They picked up a good number of kills early. And look at this, from up on high with the scope down low, Jaguar looking to open the account.
Yeah, absolutely. And that free rotation from the updraft as well to go wherever the zone may pull to. I mean, you and I personally know how cruel the zone can be, and to get a bit of extra more height, Koi gets that launch pad on as well. Got the mythic Hollow Twister in hand. Remember when I said the Hollow Twister and all of its variants? Yeah, no, I wasn't joking. There's like 3 variants of it. You got the regular ones that go up to gold. You've got the mythic, and then you've got the exotic as well. Ghost Slayer has the mythic shotgun, which up close and personal, I think you love seeing the shotguns in play, just because you can get that 200 headshot so easily. You can get a down and change the pacing of a fight ever so quickly with it.
It really is. And we've seen people do it when they can combine it with good editing skills, right? You build up around your opponents, you edit, you need a quarter of a second, a 1/10 of a second, and you can get that single pump through there with no chance of retribution. So certainly is one of my favorite parts. Mr. Above Average is stocked up. He's feeling the gold rush here. He's going to go and use that to take advantage, try to get up to the high ground, at least get a footing for the rest of his squad to start working up, and he's provided the ramp that they need. Now they've got the chance. They've got the high ground, Anakin, and they are putting in the damage on their opponents. There is no more terrifying team than seeing these guys up here, and they're showing their intentionality. Solar Spectre closes the distance. He's going into the builds of their opponents, making sure to corral them in there. Goes around just trying to spot out where their opponents is. And again, the quick decision making. They're not around this corner. We go to the next spot. And they have effectively completely pushed off their opponents. And I don't think that's a bad call from Jaguars and the rest of that squad.
My brother in Spice, when did Solo get the mythic org? I didn't see an armored van get taken down at all. That just spawned from the ether into Solo's inventory. You love to see it, and I mean, they effectively have probably the best loadouts
Yeah.
in this game right now that you could get for this season. You love to see it. You've got the Mythic Org, you've got the Chug Jugs, and I mean the Org getting put to use right now. 180 meters away, that scope spotting them out and trying to hit them with that double fire. Look at that aim from Mr. Above Average as well, just beaming with the Hollow Twister. Minty has the exotic as well. This is just not fair, Holt.
It's not fair. And the way that they play around it, because I said it earlier, it's not just about the guns, it's about the cross angles that they're taking. It's about looking for your targets. They heard immediately when there was someone coming to challenge them on their island. They dealt with those guys from 14 different zones. And I mean, that's fantastic. Look at this, bouncing from island to island now, not afraid of the storm, looking for anyone trying to make a late rotation in there. Look at the distance you're going here, and the ability to, I mean, let's be fair, this is basically a horror movie at some stages. No one ever looks up.
No one ever looks up. And you know what would be the even scary thing? Let's have our own little what if CDs over here. What if they had snipers in this game right now? What if they had that mammoth pistol that could 185 you in the dome from any angle, from any distance? How scary would that be for everyone that's down low at that gas station right now, that's been spotted out from the lords above that is on that island, as Antonio now, baseball bat in hand, is going to go ahead and try to rotate through. But I mean, with enemies that close to you and 7 HP and a dream, it's really tough, and taken down just like that because of that storm. Remzozo going to go ahead and get that elimination.
I love this team. They keep walking in and out of the zones, and they just turn around for just long enough to put in that damage and then let the tick take the rest of that. All that they need. DJ Fishy Plays now making the progress towards the center. Going to give some breathing room to Remzozo to rotate in there. Twain Butcher, one of the two left in that zone that are going to have to try get past Remzozo, the squad. So difficult position for these guys to be in. They've got lots of resources in terms of healing. Well, that's the end of that med kit, but still feeling nice and healthy. They just cannot afford to make a straight line rush. And I think Butcher going to be going up and trying to meet up once more with Clicks. Clicks as well going to be able to sustain out, but you now don't have that for the rest of this. Remzozo actually did go down and going to be able to be picked back up. Maybe just the last tick as we're coming out of zone. 6 squads left, 14 players, less than half the lobby remain. And they're all here around Demon's Dojo.
I mean, we've got the 2 in the zone as well, just waiting to use that slurp truck, but I don't know how good that strategy is with the zone always improving in terms of damage. Lucid and the squad up close and personal, trying to edit their way through, trying to find angles on their opponents. Chug Jug in hand as well for Lucid. Only 90 use on that will have a little bit lacking, but up close and personal with Koi right now, 43 HP, and still trying to edit through, still trying to find angles, goes out in the open, and that was a mistake right there. In a spot for Solo with the weaponry that they have to go ahead and get an elimination. And we know Solo, the Anchor, when they smell blood in the water, they go through like a pack of hounds, just pushing through. And just like that, turns that 3v3 into a 3v1 ever so quickly. And Chug Jugs galore for them to heal. Materials on a refresh, ammo for them on a refresh. You love to see this team go ahead, be aggressive, and Clicks gets taken out. We saw Clicks in that storm earlier. Mr. Above Average on height just spots them out and says, Nana, this is our zone.
Man, time and time again, they just stand head and shoulders literally above everyone else as they take advantage of that high ground. And you talked about them turning it to a 3v1. They do that, but 3 times when they're going up against another squad. They're all on the same target. They all chew them down, and then it goes to a 3v2, then a 3v1 at the end. And looking again, always looking for that next option. Even on the way down, Solo Spectre goes, ignore gravity for half a second, take a couple of shots that way, turn 90 degrees to the right, gonna find some damage. Minty, you take over, looking down towards the left there, and okay, we need some help. We're spotting some people out there, puts 23 more damage in there. Minty goes, that's absolutely fine. Take a couple of shots in return. Got all the little minis to be able to top that back up if needs be, and that's Sprite. But right now, it's just really a battle of the high grounds between these 2 big teams left alive. The rest of the lobby pretty much filled with solos and duos as Rockerblade at least secures themselves some position points, but going to be a hard fight to get anything more. The team without any kills would love to pick up a late point.
Yo, the Anchor already has more kills than they've had in the first game. I just want to point that out. They had 13 in the previous one. They're sitting at 14 right now. There's a reason why we say they're off the scale with it. But there's a reason why we say they all gas, no breaks with it in these lobbies. They keep on pushing for DJ Fishy right now with Remzozo, just trying to get more position points that they can. I mean, we're in that top 4 team situation. 9 players left alive. The only way that they can get to that zone is taking a swim. Matthew on the low ground, and this is the power position we talk about every single time, Alt. You guys may think that we talk too much about the high ground, but this is exactly why it's so powerful. You see the anchor up top. They've built a fortress. Solo getting one right there. 30, 60, 90, 120 with that hollow twister. And then immediately switches aim to the next person. They've secured themselves some more kills just like that. And then pushing in is Solo up close and personal. Has the Sentinel to go ahead, confirm a kill. If it wasn't enough, yo, there is another mythic right there for this team. Alt, what do you do in this situation? These guys are the anime protagonists of the Fortnite anime for ASL. Blaze, though, has that slap chug jug in hand. 220 uses on that for 220 HP, I should say specifically. Just a little bit more than what a regular chug jug will give you. But Minty smells blood close by, starts shooting at some boxes. Blaze, like a camera, sitting in the corner, spotting out all this action. Nat Geo, eat your heart out. This is ASL. Solo and the rest of the squads are the primal hunters over here. And they are looking for a feast. Look at that 128 to the dome as a Mr. Above Average gets baseball batted. We're down to our top 3. Take it away, Al.
Oh, man, and you can see it. You can see why I love the shotguns, man. A single-headed, boom, down. There goes a player. Then they get their HP back up. They're again going relentlessly. Next person, next target in there. Above average goes down. Plays Polaris does wonderfully, but does get eventually punished. Just 2 teams left. Is Remzozo. The single last person has no way to get this HP back up there. Mr. Above Average will eventually go down to the 2v1, but it really is all but a dream here for Remzozo. He's done well to get to this point, frantically building up around him, but he needs to worry, where is the threat even going to come from? Zone pushes even further, a jump above there from Minty, and Remzozo, he scatters around the ends. Eventually, it's going to be the Storm that claims the prize. But the big prize, Solo Spectre, Mr. Above Average, Minty come through, 19 kills to the best of this team. You said it yourself, AR, this is ASL.
Dude, Remzozo ran out of materials there. I don't know if you noticed that. Couldn't build it out. It was either dealing with the final bosses that was right next to him or taking fall damage by dropping down below. There was no in between. It was Raps over there. The Anchor take both games for today in our final open for week number 1. We're gonna get that scoring done. I mean, you guys already know what that scoreboard is gonna say. Let's be honest over here, but we will get the points up. I'm looking forward to see what the point difference is, because yesterday I got to witness the Premier Division. I got to witness PRG doing the same thing, winning both games back to back. First game 20 kills, second game 22. They're currently sitting at 214 points. That's a 110 point difference between first and second. I want to see what the points are over here. The Anchor, first game 13 kills and a victory. Second game 19 kills and a victory. They are furthering that lead with, guess what, Alt? 7 more weeks to go of this.
That's mad, actually. When a team can come in and effectively take out half the lobby. We started with 38 players, and these guys got 19 of them. I mean, they can't kill themselves in this, so they just decided to sweep everyone else in this. And the fact is, they get to the final end zone, and it's not just that they scrape into that final position, that victory royale. No, they've still got 3 people, and they use that advantage time and time again to be able to systematically take out anyone. How are you supposed to, as a solo, come into those final 3 teams or 4 teams and really stand a chance against someone like this? The answer is you don't. Why? Because every part of the game is flawless. While there's so much excitement at the end, that's not the defining factor of a team like this. You saw that they mysteriously just picked up that org out of nowhere. Before we saw them, they won, I think it was 3 or 4 kills the last time we saw them. We came back to them and they were on 11. They seemed to magic anything out of the air.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just the universe granting what they wish. Maybe they found the Dragon Balls on the Fortnite island to go ahead and wish for all these mythics and exotics. But we have the scores done for all of you beautiful viewers. And take a look at that. 194 for the Anchor in first place. Let's just go ahead and put this all together, okay? Our second place team had 2 kills total. All of their points came from placement points. Our first place, being the Anchor, have a total of 32 kills and 2 wins. Third place with 7 kills as well, and placement points, that being Ghost Slayer and the rest of the squad. Second place over there is going to be Delta Park, being DJ Fishy. They were the duo that we saw at the end over there, with Ramzozo taking it to the limit and unfortunately running out of materials. And then, first place, we knew there wasn't going to be any change. The Anchor sitting at the top with 194 points.
The fact that Delta Park is in second position with only 2 kills shows how important that those placement positions are, and why teams do tend to hold back when they don't have that confidence, or they don't have all the resources, or their teammates arrive. They know that they need to get to those final couple of zones. Fourth place, third place, even second place is so worth fighting it out for. But that'll take you so far. That'll get you to second place. That'll get you to 112 points. It's the 82-point difference, though, that comes from the kills. There is only insanity that can really start saying that kills aren't important in a game like this right now. So you asked me at the beginning of lobby number 2, AR, what do the teams do? Do they go for that early aggression? Yes. But just hope that you don't run into the Anchor, apparently.
There's nothing else you can do. Let's just point out, like you said, there were only 38 players in this game. What if we had a full lobby? What would the point difference have been then? Because if the Anchor...
30 bomb.
30 bomb easy over there. They almost had that 20 bomb in the second game. They were 1 kill off from it. What if we had a 60-man lobby right now? A full lobby over here. 70, 80 people within it. Come on. Maybe we'll get that in the next 7 weeks, because this is ASL. This is where teams are off the scale with it. This is where 3 times a week they gun with it. This is where they are all gas, no breaks with it. You know what I mean? But this is going to continue next week again. That's all the games that we have for this week. 3 times a week, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, with a double up on Wednesdays, stacking premier games as well. So, from myself, from Alt, from Broadcast, we hope you have a fantastic weekend. We will see you next week again for more ASL action.